Welcome back to the show. Today is a episode I've been thinking about, praying about, and just dreaming about for a couple of weeks now because it is a story that came about in the last month. So if you follow me on Instagram, you may have noticed there has been a shift in my content creation, in the topics I talk about. But if you've been following me for a while, you will also notice that there is a common thread still there. And that is that you are made for more. You are made to get more done in less time. You are made to fulfill your unique purpose on this earth. And you are made to have exceptional brain health at every single age. So I'm going to tell you the story of how I did a massive pivot in 22 days and went from having an idea to actually producing income in that time frame. Less than 4 weeks after I had the idea, I had my first client for this new program. So let's back up a little bit. It was October 23rd. It was my morning work session. So I'm a lion chronotype, which means that I thrive off of early mornings. So I wake up at around 4:30, 4:35, and then I generally do my best creative, most productive work in that first 2-hour block before my son is up. So I was doing my work block, and this particular morning, I was feeling frustration. I was journaling, and I was trying to get to the root of why did I feel this tension, this frustration. And what I actually learned recently when I went to a business conference in September, I was chatting with my business friends that evening, one of the evenings there, and they were telling me, Ina, when you feel frustrated, it probably means you're trying to force something. So this is an emotion. Frustration is an emotion. It's neither good nor bad. What you do with it is good or bad. So the emotion revealed the problem, and that actually became my fuel for creativity. So I was noticing a problem with how I was presenting, how I was selling. I wasn't meeting my people where they were at. And that was causing a lot of frustration. I wasn't getting the results I wanted fast enough. So I believe very, very strongly in always having a coach. My coaches have coaches, that their coaches have coaches, and it's a beautiful line of coaches. So it was a Wednesday, October 23rd, and I hop on my coaching call with Catherine Schubert. She hears my story. She hears that I'm saying there's this gap between what I'm offering and what people are wanting, where they're actually at. There's this massive resistance. And she was telling me that I need to run with the idea that I had. She told me to start diving deep into creativity and innovation and the pain in creativity, the pleasure in creativity, the ease that someone could have when they develop creative skills. She has known me for 5 years. She's been my coach now for 5 years. And she's been with me in the ups and downs of creating the program that I am about to tell you more about. And I hopped off of that call. I immediately pivoted and changed my challenge name. It used to be called the Make Music Challenge, and now it's the 10x Your Creativity Challenge. And I did a pivot. 24 hours later, everything was changed. So now we go to the Thursday. So Thursday, October 24th, my brain software is changed. I had made a decision. When you decide, you burn the ships, metaphorically speaking. You completely do a 180 turn. The root of the word decision comes from the word scission, which means to cut. D means to eliminate. So you cut off all other options. That is what happened. And I had this brain software, and I was still selling the same principle that you can 10x your creativity. So I hop on another call, Thursday, October 24th. This is a sales coaching call, and I have these new thoughts, new strategies, new payoffs for people to experience. And I have a role play conversation with a woman, and I tell her, it's really not about music at all, and nobody on the call really knows what has happened in the last 24 hours. In fact, my other sales coach, she tells me, I don't know if you should say it's not really about music at all. And I start explaining the pivot, and everyone they're excited. They are fired up for what's coming. Okay, so this is Thursday, October 24th. I'm already selling the ideas. I'm already selling the beliefs. I'm already selling the payoffs that this new program can have for someone, and it's not even created yet. It's because my brain software has been selling this for the last 5 years. It's something I've lived for the last 20 years. It is a program that I created through my unique purpose, and I was able to start selling it because it was connected to my unique purpose. Okay, Friday, October 25, we're now on day 3 of this pivot. I go to my mastermind call. That's the other thing I really strongly believe in, is always having a group of incredible women in your mastermind. In fact, one of them has been interviewed on my podcast, Sarah Godfrey. Thank you. You were a massive reason why I was able to do this pivot quickly and smoothly and with energy. Sarah Godfrey, you can listen to her episode. I think it went live in July. It's all about body language strategies, so that's a good one. But I digress. I will continue my story here. So it was Friday, October 25th. And I'm telling my friends about changing the name of my challenge, changing my programs, like all of these massive changes. And they tell me, Ina, you can do this. You can do hard things. So I run with it. In that call, Innovation Incubator was born. And I told them, okay, I'm just going to hop off of mute right now, turn everything off, and just write out the program ideas. 20 minutes later, I had a 4-week structure in place. And in fact, one of the women, her business partner, was on the call, and she overheard me telling them about this new idea. And she's like, Ina, I want this. This sounds like exactly what I want. I had my first lead 3 minutes after the program was born. That is how fast it can go. Okay, so then I run the challenge the following week. And the week after that, I have the first sale. In the meantime, while I was running the challenge, while I was gathering leads, having conversations, I was going through 5 core creative habits, which I'm actually going to reveal to you right now. I'm not going to go super in depth because that's something we cover in Innovation Incubator, but I am going to give you the juicy 5 creative habits that I followed during this time. So I was writing down every single idea I had. In fact, we had our first snowfall during this time, and I went outside and played with my son in the snow. We built a snowman. It was like 2 hours outside. And in that time, I had like 3 or 4 ideas of how to market it, which actually resulted in a sale. The most active thing that I did was organize my ideas. I never actually sat down even once to map it all out. So I followed the 80-20 rule. I was looking at my program, which was normally just a music program, a way for people to learn the cello in order to have enhanced brain health, enhanced creativity, amazing relationships, a developed brain that could sell like nothing else. And I realized, what if I could get people the results, the same results as what I've been selling the last 3 years, without them actually needing to learn the cello? What if there was a way that I could do that? And I had to get rid of 80% of the program. Now, that program still lives in the background. I'm still fulfilling the unique purpose that I have of being a coach, a cello coach, and it is something that gives me life. It fuels the other programs. And that really is the way to 10x your growth, is by, in fact, learning an instrument. But there was a way that I could transfer my 20 years of cello experience into the brains of my new clients and help them get results in only 4 weeks. They did not have to learn the cello for 20 years to see results. It took courage. It took courage to let go of 80% and start selling in a different way. But as one of the clients in Innovation Incubator actually just told me this morning, music is what makes this program unique. Yes, I don't have to learn an instrument in this program, but the reality is that access to 20 years of music experience gives you the ability to move fast. I'm laying it all out in this program. It is there for you to win. And you will hear more and more about this program, how you can access it, how you can apply for it. In fact, I'll make sure that the application link is in the description in case you want to apply for the next one. But it took courage, and it reminds me of this quote from James Clear. He says, most people don't need more information. They just need more courage. So what I want to challenge you with right now is to start journaling on what your 20% is. What is your 20%? Your unique purpose. That if you were to let go of 80% of that's holding you back, how far could you go? So with that question in mind, I'm going to give you 5 creative habits that I followed during these 22 days to go from idea to income. And hopefully this will give you some fuel to have more quantum leaps a lot faster in your life. So the very first habit was passive activities. So this was walking, strength training, playing outside with my son. It was anything where I was using my hands and I was resting with my mind so that I could formulate new ideas. The second habit was following my specific chronotype. This is something we actually go very deep in the strategy of in the program. But my chronotype, I'm a lion. I mentioned this in the beginning. I thrive off of early wake-up times, thrive off of getting all my work done before noon. My creative energy is really high in the morning. So I was very strategic with this so that I didn't have to sacrifice time with my son. The third one was conversations. I had countless conversations with people, lots of sales calls, lots of masterminding with my group, lots of training, lots of coaching, and all of these conversations I would record. This is habit number 4, is writing. I would write sales messages daily on the new topic so that I could research it, I could hardwire it into my brain. The 5th habit was reading. I made sure to read. Specifically, I read 10x is easier than 2x during this time. This whole stack of books, plus all of the ones over there, by the way, I have incorporated into Innovation Incubator so that you can take my research from the last 8 to 9 years on music, on the brain, on all of the things that can help you 10x your creativity, and you actually can learn it in just 4 weeks. I've done all the research for you so that you can really save time and make the most of every minute. So those were the 5 habits that I did, and I combined them with specific, very strategic music activations. This was through my playlist that I've created. You can actually download this exact playlist, the one that I used during this pivot, in the description box. It'll be called the Focus playlist, and the music in this Focus playlist can actually shift you from a sympathetic nervous system state, which is the fight and flight, anxiety, high cortisol, to a parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, in just 8 minutes. So you can use this music to activate the creative centers of your brain. And using only those 5 habits, I was able to do a 10x leap. Well, it was actually a 17x leap in 22 days. So if this podcast encouraged you today that it really can happen a lot faster than you think, that you can see results in your business, in your unique purpose, without sacrificing family time, I just want you to know that my story is a testimony of this. I have seen this happen to many, many, many women. In fact, my coaches actually had a similar story a year ago when they enrolled in a new coaching program. It's a story for another episode. But I want to encourage you that you are made for more. You really are. You are made to be 10x creative because you were created by the most creative creator. You have creativity as part of your DNA. And creativity that goes and leads into innovation using strategies is what is going to 10x your business and give you the 10x life that you're dreaming of. So the action items that I have for you, because I want to make sure you know exactly what to do after this episode. Go and download the brain activations playlists. This will lower your cortisol, raise your dopamine. That'll help you be more creative already. Number 2, start implementing one of the 5 creative habits. To summarize, I was doing passive activities and recording my ideas. Reading, writing, conversations, and connecting to the work times that I was able to be the most efficient. Those 5 habits were very simple shifts where I didn't really add anything to my schedule. I was just more strategic with it. And strategy sometimes helps you save a lot of time. So start doing those 5 habits, one at least, download the playlists, and come back for next week's episode.